Thomas. Hello Zelvia. Hello Johnny Tweet. Hello Max Headroom. William. Hello Steven. Cheers. Hello Zetman. How is everyone doing? Hello Diglersberg. We're starting with something absolutely exclusive. Hello Sean. Hello Daniel. You made it. I guarantee you that this is the first time this is getting played on Waxed anywhere. Apart from the people who pressed it. Hello 6408. John. Hello Ivan, how you doing? Luke Taylor. Well, today I got a nice surprise with the record I'm playing right now for you, which is an absolute exclusive, as I was saying, and I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to tell you what it is right now. Maybe next week, we'll see. But if you like it, this is not gonna be not expensive, but this is gonna be very limited. It's not out yet. It's the test pressing of a record. It's not my music. Don't worry. Hello, Raf. And thank you, by the way, Thomas, Corcoran, Gidget, Frank, Sean, the Vinyl Dreamscape, David, Midoji Scali, Dilly, Daniel, oh wow, and Nick Pentazzi. All of you for leaving early tips in the coffee jar. Merci beaucoup les amis, much appreciated. And you know, it arrives well, as this week has been expensive in terms of non-expensive records, but a lot of new finds, and I'm quite excited about that will get here to your ears shortly. Yeah, I hope everyone is well. The summer is starting to fade a little bit here, and as I was listening to this earlier today, it kind of fit the mood. What is this? So if I don't tell you who this is, apart from someone pretty famous in the stream, as you can hear, electronic modular synthesis, sort of like a super edgy modern take on Berlin School, you could say. Just absolutely great electronic music with well, lots of stuff happening. It's not like a cyclic type of composition, not too much at least. Thank you Manuel, good show as well, for leaving a nice tip in the coffee jar. Merci beaucoup. We start good early tonight, huh? Hello 808. Hello Marcos. How you doing? Yeah. Hello Robin. Comment ça va, Robin? Hello, Nick. It's not Utopia Strong, Thomas, but you're on the right path. I'm sorry to be cryptic like that, but I thought like, okay, I'll play it tonight anyways. Merci Maurizio Borba for leaving a tip in the coffee jar as well. Merci beaucoup, much appreciated. All the tips, of course, the regulars, you know it. It's a way to support me to keep doing this every week, but even to do more, because the more you tip, the closer I get to be able to do what I want to do with this channel, which is, there's a lot of videos coming. I just need time, and time is money. And now the track starts getting. Thank you, Maurizio from Brazil. Thank you for leaving a nice tip in the coffee jar. Merci beaucoup. And I believe it's the first time I read you here, so you're welcome to the to the bunch. Yeah, more minimal indeed. Hello Romuald. Salut Fred, comment va? Nice. Yeah, Matthew Herbert live can be fun. Well, who knows? Yeah, he always has these concepts, Matthew Herbert. Maybe I'll play some Matthew Herbert later. Hello Ryan S. Nice to see you. Hello Lim. So yes, the cat is out of the bag. Thomas kind of guessed it. It's not Utopia Strong, but this is a project Steve from Utopia Strong, Steve Davis, has been working on. And I hope that next week he can come on for a little while and chat a little bit about it to announce. It's not even announced yet. It's gonna be a super limited pressing on vinyl. And it's really, really, really good. Salut X-Prince Protégé. Nice to see you. See? The welcoming party from Kansas City. Hello, hello. It's funny because Steve was being a little bit self-conscious about it, like preparing me for the worst. Fully prepared for me to hate it, which I don't, obviously. So what's up with you guys? Any nice finds? Any crazy finds purchases in the past week. There's a bunch of records that have been announced of late that I'm really looking forward. But essentially this week I've been digging a lot of records from Egypt. So we'll see a lot of that soon. No. Well, that's the thing. You can't yet. So I hope that next week I can announce how. Unless, yeah, because Steve is playing tonight, so he couldn't be with us. Yeah, there is something like that. You do, Raph, for sure. The studio, the Croydon studio is underway. It does, huh? Let's make him less self-conscious when he watches this tomorrow, hopefully. The Robert Creeley, yeah, nice. It's a cheap record so far. Thank you, John Levinson and Ryan Smith, both of you, for leaving nice tips in the coffee jar. Very nice. Merci beaucoup. So I thought I would play this today anyways, to give you an early peek on something that will probably fly away when it gets announced in the next couple of weeks, I think. And it's also a good excuse to listen to some good music, isn't it? Well, you're welcome, Max. Yeah, that's a big one for this year. The first reissue on vinyl of the Disintegration Loops by William Basinski. The 4 main albums. If you want to have a second-hand copy of the box set that was released like in 2012, I believe, 1,000 copies, maybe 2,000 they did. Like it's a 4-figure record nowadays, almost. So the reissue will be lacking the DVD, the CDs, and the bonus live LP. But what do we need? Huh? Do we need everything? I think it's going to be very nice for everyone. Congratulations, Fred, for getting that as well. Yeah, that Rashad Becker was really something, huh? Salut, monsieur, haha, hi, hi, ho. It's always impossible to say your name out loud, but I try. Hello, Yuha, how are you doing? You know how here I like to play all kinds of music, to discover all kinds of music, and often to play one record and then the sort of opposite of it. In the past like 5-6 years, a lot of people in the VC have gotten into jazz, and one way for a lot of people to expand their jazz perception was that album of Pharoah Sanders with Floating Points. And as I was going through the records today a little bit, well, I remember that I've never been that much into that record. It's a good record, but the problem is that I'm an old Floating Points head. So I thought I'll play a proper Floating Points tune from the early 2000s, as a lot of people might probably know him in the jazz world without having heard the music that got him famous first. Oh, that's nice, Robin. Wow. The Eunice, yeah. Nice. Oh, congratulations! Yeah, the saute, nice. Yeah, they released that one in a weird way, huh? But yeah, that's definitely an absolute stunner of a record. That was technically released last year, but that on vinyl mostly became available this year. Alright. Well, I envy you. I just have like a cheap light beer. Because I've barely eaten today. I didn't have time. I woke up, went directly to work. Work being today, looking through all the new releases of Bandcamp Friday, Boomcat, Bleep, and a shitload of tabs, open tabs I had of new and older releases. And yeah, working for the good cause, huh? You're not... Yeah, good question. So see, this is the first side of this yet to be disclosed, the LP by Steve Davis and another pretty interesting musician. So, as I was saying, how about some floating points now? Hello Elliot, how you doing? Oh, just as I'm changing. He's not here right now, but he'll be happy to read that tomorrow or during the weekend. I don't know exactly, but it's gonna be fairly soon, hopefully. So you have first peek on that here. Hello, Ivan. Yeah, probably next week I'll play some. Next time Steve can come and talk a little bit about it. Hopefully next week we'll do that. The white label. This is floating points from I believe 2007, maybe 2010. I'll show you the label, as this is one of these EPs that came out without any cover art. So this is People's Potential by Floating Points from 2010, Sean, if you caught it. Weird kind of funkiness, huh? So Elliot, you will know the artist next week, as this was a sort of sneak peek at the new project from Steve Davis from Utopia Strong. But I just played the test pressing of that, so he will introduce the name of the project. Yeah, that's why I thought like I'd give you a head start on that one. Osamu Kitajima, yeah, that's an interesting album. So even in 2010, the piano here, you already have the jazz in Floating Points. People's, Sean, the name is People's Potential. This was released on his own label, Eglo. Really dirty and bassy track. Yeah, and here it is. Yeah, so tonight I think we're gonna play a little bit of everything. Electronic music, dance music, folk, jazz, indie, experimental, avant-garde, dub. We'll see where we go. Hello, Final Stockholm Jonas. Yeah, you should come by the way, since you're the closest one to me. Hello, I'm the dead. Hello, Iceland. Yeah, there's so many themes. 64.0, 64.08. So many themes, but yeah, Japanese evening, why not, yeah? Hello, Thorsten, how you doing? Abend. Yeah. I hadn't played that record for quite some time, and well, it's all about the discovery, isn't it? Salut, Chris. I don't know what happened with that record, but it is quite dirty, but I kind of like it that way. Yeah, so let's do that before it gets too cold. And the bass on that record, I must say, must probably be giving a lot of work to the needle. Floating Points, People's Potential, on his own Eglo label. yeah. These like dance 12 inches from the mid-late 2010s, most of them, even the good stuff. Well, the DJs who bought it and played it, often they don't keep it after a while. So now we're listening to some Billy Hart, the Enchants album. An album that I think I've talked about it once. I don't think it's an album that gets talked about too much. Just stunning, cheap heat. Or is it still cheap? Let me see. Sometimes I'm optimistic about these things. Oh yeah, very, very cheap. This is like a still $5 record, if even so. Hello Joe, how you doing? Grass cutting can be relaxing, can't it? Depending on how tall the grass is, I guess. Hello Ed, how you doing? Don't listen to Romuald. He's a mean-spirited Strasbourgeois. Yeah, there are reasons for that. Historical ones. Oh, is it? Because it was released on Horizon, which is a US label, I believe. So this is all kinds of mixture of free jazz and spiritual jazz, I would say. And just a perfect record. Hello Quint, how you doing? Merci, X-Prince Protégé, for leaving a tip in the coffee jar. Tonight is a good night so far. Last week was pretty slow, so that's nice. Merci beaucoup. And we're only at the third record tonight, huh? Who doesn't? Thank you, Sean, indeed. The Vinyl Dreamscape, Sean. I would agree with you, Elliot. If I'm bored with music, then I get annoyed. Ah, well. It can happen, huh? Well, I can show it again, and I can do you one better. Follow the link here. So, huh? Salut Pinap. Très bien. Hello Mazie. It's true, Don Pullen on piano, that adds something quite interesting. I didn't even mention the musicians on this. Got the great Eddie Henderson, Hannibal Marvin Peterson, Don Pullen, Dewey Redman, Buster Williams, James Lott, Mark Gray, and Oliver Lake. So that's a stellar lineup if there is any. Tom Waits. It should be better for my taste. He has such a strong, distinctive aesthetic. I've never really fallen in love with the music yet. Yeah, he did some fusion stuff, Hannibal and Marvin Peterson, that is, but he's a great musician for sure. This is a record I bought when it was released, highly anticipating it, especially with the description and the people behind it. And I must say that back then, when was that, like 98? I was disappointed back then. It took me a while to appreciate this for what it actually is. (1997). So obviously a dub record, but not just dub. This was the first solo project of Mark Nelson from Labradford. Labradford being, for me, probably the best rock band of the 90s, as they managed to surf from the early 90s up till the early 2000s with zero miss. Like everything they did was just mesmerizing. And this is the first Pan American on Cranky, 1997. A mellow post-rock dub album. Yeah, absolutely. Cranky was like really up there when it comes to rock, to forward-thinking rock. No, I don't have these, Ed, but I've been investigating it slowly. Thank you for reminding me, by the way. Yeah. But back then, I didn't really know what I expected. Something more electronic, I guess, which excited me back then. But for those who don't know too much about Labradford, maybe I'll play some Labradford. There you go, Bobby Braden. He said it, I didn't. But I kind of did as well. Labradford were a trio of various origins. I don't think they were really located anywhere. Quite early on, they started to work with what's his name, Adam Wiltsey, who was back then early member of Windsurfer the Derby on Trans Syndicate in Texas, which is where they met, I believe, before he went on to do Stars of the Lid. But these early Labradford records, I guess, gave us the perfect continuation, musical continuation of what it was to feel, how you were feeling when you were watching Twin Peaks, I would say. I think this record is probably still pretty cheap, because they pressed a lot. So the original is not that cheap, I see now. Yeah, oh no, there's only one pressing of it. Wow, I thought they had reissued that. And Pan American is, by the way, as Labradford doesn't exist anymore, Pan America is still the main project of Mark Nelson. So a project that has lasted much longer than Labradford. That's a bit depressing in a way. Yeah, I do have some Windy and Carl and Jeffrey. They were more pop, but that's nice. Ah, nice record on. Yeah, but they kept. I think the three of them, Joe, were from different places. But I might be wrong on that. I met them a couple of times in the late '90s, and they seem to be moving around. So this is still pretty much a post-rock record, but with the dub. The dub not being as extravagant as on the We Like Cats, that album I played last week from the side project of Honey Owens from Jack Your Motherfucker. So I name checked Twin Peaks. Tell me if I'm right. Tell me if I'm wrong. Hello, Johan. Yes, I played it here when it was released, Elliot. I was probably one of the first ones to play that. Hello Fabio, how are you doing? So the second Labradford album, because I could play just any of them. But this is just beautiful. Salut Coco, how are you doing? And this was fairly well distributed in Europe, by the way, back then. Even though this is the American pressing on Cranky, made in Canada. Merci, thank you Max Headroom for the tip in the coffee jar. Merci beaucoup, much appreciated. Goes a long way. Whatever you guys can do, by the way. There's people who are leaving big tips, some small ones. They all appreciate it and they all make a big difference. Just think about it if you're having an evening with some pals at the bar. Just buy me a beer. Or by yourself. So who's new to Labradford here? Who had never heard of Labradford before? Exactement, Paul. Yeah. As did the very first album, also on Flying Nun. I have the test pressing of the Flying Nun release of the first album. Oh, well. It's interesting. I bought a lot of these records on CD back then, apart from... I bought half of them on CD, and at one point, maybe 10, 15 years ago, I decided, these records are dirt cheap. It's time to get them before something happens. And it was easy. I don't know if it still is, but... yeah, very good album. Yeah, totally. If Thor Lundvall hasn't been influenced by Labradford, I'll be damned. Well, great. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, same here. When I saw them in Paris, there weren't that many people. I must say that back when they had their first releases, Labradford must have been kind of a ballsy bet to sign them. And with Cranky, they did quite a few records. Then they got signed to Mute Records in Europe. So now we're listening to a classic. I don't know Gregory Allman. Oh wait, now the name sounds vaguely familiar, but I'm not sure about it. Yeah, he does. Elliot Cruz, our friend here, he's more into bluegrass, folk, American music, but he's got a lot of stuff here. Uh-oh. Some dirt here. So this is a historical record. New music for electronic and recorded media, which is basically a compilation of early electronic music by women. So you got Annie Lockwood, Pauline Oliveros, Laurie Spiegel, Ruth Anderson, Laurie Spiegel, Megan Roberts, and here Joanna Empire, which is quite insane, as this is pretty early. As this is supposedly from 1938, this track. So I've had this compilation is pretty. It's a sort of classic of if you dig avant-garde records, but that track always fascinates me. I just played a dub album pin-up. Oh, good call. Salut Billy Bob. Nice to see you. And thank you, Elliot Cruz and Art Null Art for leaving nice tips in the coffee jar as well. Merci beaucoup. Yeah, historic indeed. Stone Dead classic. I know it's weird to talk about this that way, but it really is, because for the longest time, most female composers in avant-garde music were kind of invisibilized. And that compilation from 1977 on 1750 Arch, the label, that really was the one time where a sort of statement. So really nice. Hello Eddie, nice to see you. Hello Andrew, how are you doing? And I guess when this was released, this artwork, probably not super obvious, probably easy to miss, or not, I'm not sure, but you could still find that record for dirt cheap up until like the mid 2010 or something like that. I don't know now, but as who was saying that there's been a reissue of that. Yeah, John. Okay, let's have some fun now. Not that this isn't fun, but let's have a sort of a little more easy going fun. Late 2000 garage from the UK. Hackman, one of his most mellow tracks. Bass indeed. So Hackman was an interesting figure in garage, future garage house of the London scene of the around 2010, and he was part of. There used to be a website called Fact Magazine that was at the origin of the vinyl factory, if I remember correctly. And Hackman was a sort of like unsung hero of that little scene. He has a few tunes from back then that are still like banger for the dance floor. This is not necessarily exactly for the dance floor, this is too mellow, but it's quite nice. Absolutely, 1 hour. Leave a thumbs up, a like to the video if you haven't already, and leave a comment if you're watching this whenever, and leave a tip to your DJ of the night if you haven't, if you can. I'm ambivalent to him. Last week I played 2 albums by Bruce Dietmars, the drummer. He did an album with Pat Metheny, that's quite interesting, but there's stuff he did I hate, and stuff that I'm like, this is cool, this is interesting. Of course, of course, feel that mad. Non, j'ai pas écouté le dernier Time Impala. This is Hackman Forgotten Notes on Ramp Records. Hello Highland District, how you doing? Yeah, it's not that often, nice to see you. Oops. It happens, huh? Well, garage usually has this sort of treated vocals from the 2010s and like a little slowed down. Alright, I'll be sure to check it out. Right Size Live and Songs X and Song X. Okay. Yeah, it's music from that time, and it made sense back then. I thought like I'd play it today. Ah ben c'est du boulot, hein. C'est beaucoup d'heures tous les jours. And by the way, I've been working on a couple of pieces for my Substack channel. I think we'll be publishing early next week. Something I've been thinking about for quite a while, and it's taking some time to put together the thoughts, but I think it will be interesting. So if you're waiting for the next stuff, don't worry, it's coming. And if you not aware, just check the Substack channel as well. You might find it interesting. Corker Convoy. The project's from the early 2000s. This is from 2004. Corker Convoy is a sort of like IDM electronica artist, a bit nerdy. But this is remixed by David Grubbs, Gastro del Sol. And it's pretty nice. Yes, indeed, Elliot. Here's the link. This is a record I never really managed to know in which category to put it. It's really good music, really good production design, but it doesn't really fit anywhere very specifically. I played her first album extensively. I thought it was one of the better albums of 2021, 2022. The new one that is about to come out, I'm not sure yet. I haven't been completely sold on it yet, John, but we'll see when they release more tracks. Well, not just Discogs, there's a lot of other sources. Hello, Vinyl Rundown, nice to see you. It's been some time. How you doing? And you're correct. I guess I'll let this one bleed into the next track. So you see, it's not just this sort of post-rock electronic goodness. There was a time when that could have been 10% true. So the next one on this is the Derailer remix. It is a Derailer, yeah? So sort of like a Click and Cuts turntablist remix. Just shows you how easy it is to make a groove. It's a nice little record that back when it was released no one really gave it any attention. I've seen it of recent being mentioned quite positively by some interesting people, so the Pat Metheny, huh? Where was this released again? Yeah, on the Vertical Form. Vertical Form, I think a UK label that was doing both sort of abstract instrumental hip-hop, IDM, electronica, and who actually released some of the later Pan-American releases, Mark Nelson and Labradford, which we listened to right before. Next record is something quite unique. That at one point was like impossible to find until stock copies were found in the late 2000s. Who knows, Daniel? Oops, I went into the last track. Yeah, that's an original track by Corker Boy, Corker Convoy. Let's have it flow a little bit like that. So you got two remixes and now one of the original tracks. This sort of like poppy take on post-rock, I would say. So it's still the same record that we went through so many different worlds. I believe this will please Jonas from Vinyl Stockholm. And a lot of dust on that one. Sorry about that. Are you talking about Pat Metheny singing? He doesn't even dare sing, right? It's sweet. It's not my favorite, but it's of that record. It's the kind of stuff you would find in the independent music in the late 90s, early 2000s. It's quite nice. Now something really, really, really special. Such a good pressing as well. probably around 2005, I was invited at a dinner party, a small dinner, not a party, in Paris at Ramucho Mata's place, and he invited a musician there who was playing the drums here, the percussion. And what percussion is that, huh? So this is Pablo Cueco, Zarb master, this Iranian drum. And Paul Dubuisson on the piano. Paul Dubuisson, who's inspired quite a few art projects and art things in France. And this is a collaboration between the two of them and Luc Ferrari. Pablo Cueco on Zarb, Paul Dubuisson on piano, and Luc Ferrari on the magnetic tape. It came like these early GRM records cut here. But if you know our friend Alex, Diamond Marimba, this might look a little bit familiar. So back when Pablo told me about that record in around 2005, 20 years ago, it was very difficult to find it. And then some stock copies got found, and suddenly instead of like €120 record, it became like a 35 euro record, if not less. Well, we'll see about all that. Like, this is improvised, but this is also my whims with some of your influences for sure. It is Alex, Andorra's Revenge. Hello, Andorra. Did I say hello to you already tonight? So there are like unplayed mint copies around of this, which was released in 1980, maybe not sure. '87, yeah. There was another record connected to that I played before called La Petite Compagnie, The Small Company, featuring Bernard Vité, Iancu Dumitrescu. Interesting record. Pablo Cueco, I've seen him with his wife Mirta Pozzi, both Zarb duo, live treated by electroacoustic musicians. So they were performing with micro contacts on the drum with someone manipulating electroacoustically them. I saw them at Le Triton, a venue in Paris where Steve Davis actually spent quite a lot of time. So yes, this is experimental. Some parts of it are somewhat abstract, but it is also pretty playful and very cool, as John is saying. Both sides are quite different, but really, really cool. The second side is a series of shorter pieces, interconnected. Hello KS, how you doing? So yeah, this record I haven't checked in a while, but as I was explaining, it became available again for a while, and I think it still is, but they only did 500 copies of that back in '87, so who knows for how long you will be able to find it at a normal price. Only, yeah, 10 copies, so you see. Sorghini, yeah. Most of my Sorghini records are in the main house though. But yeah, you know, in the community post or in the comments, 6408. Remind me that during the week, or leave a tip to your DJ with a little note reminding me, and expressing some wishes maybe. Okay, so you had one in your basket, John, and it flew away, I assume. Yeah, now we get into the tape part, Luc Ferrari. Ooh, with a beat now, huh? We're getting close to midnight anyways, huh? Claude here is not happy with this. Yeah, a little bit. Very cool cover and artwork. At least you have to give it that, huh, Claude? Yeah, decent one. So how about I think the next track is kind of a good transition. Paul Dubuisson, piano. This is dub. No, Claude and Cacophony, not the best match. but he liked the Labradford track. Next one, I don't know if he'll like it. He might. Sur la Muse circuit. Here's another cheap record that every time I see it for cheap, I pick it up and give it as a present to friends. It's a little bit of an unexpected record. I might have played it ages ago already. Don't encourage him, Record Hound. Don't do that. Yeah, sure. You're close, but not new wave. Free jazz, acidic. Free jazz at Togo. And now it gets going. Willem Breuker Collectif. Live in Paris. Deconstructed the Eiffel Tower. Free jazz, klezmer, spiritual, acidic. The Marge label, which was connected to Futura. As you can see, the producer is Gérard Terrones, and now it gets crazy. Not new wave, free jazz. Look at them. Willem Breuker is the one soloing here. Breuker. Yeah, a cheap little record that does something quite unique in jazz. The track is called Parabasis. So here, obviously playing the soprano, my favorite saxophone. Woo! Willem Breuker, he has this oddly triangular shaped cover on FMP, I believe, if I remember correctly, a really cool record. But he's not like one of these guys from the European scene that gets mentioned too much or that often. Hopefully a little more with this. And it's a cheap one again. This was on Marge, sometimes also known as Futura Marge. How about some factory floor now? Cheers, Billy Bob. Where are you from again, Billy Bob? Because we got another Billy Bob here in the house from France. Yeah, the UK. I seem to remember that. Yeah. So this is Factory Floor, Nick Voigt's band. Right before they became very close to Chris and Cozy from Throbbing Gristle, or from Chris and Cozy. They did a few albums, a couple of records together, and this was released on DFA. LCD Sound System's own label from New York. It's a quite nice acidic, sort of acidic, minimal, yeah, industrial techno, somewhat industrial. Quite melodic for an industrial techno tune. Kind of its own thing. I'll show you the label when the record is done. love when you close the cutoff and the filter like that. It's as a DJ, that's my favorite thing, when you got closed cutoff. Yeah, that can happen sometimes when you selectively play them. They have a lot of fillers, I would say, but yeah, this is good. Quint, you know me. That's why you have to tip your DJ of the night, if you know what I mean. Because I bled buying that book. Quint is referring to the Santini is the alter ego of Steven Stapleton from Nurse's Wound when he creates design, graphic design and visual art. And they just did a monography, 560 pages coffee table book of retrospective of his art since he was a teen working for Hypnosis, working on the Pink Floyd stuff, and up to now. And yeah, there was a couple of different, there were 3 different editions featuring exclusive music, and it didn't come cheap. Yeah, holy Frankie Knuckles vibes a little bit here. Just need a little bit of like a romantic singing over here. Waiting for my angel. Let's see if you got the right one. It's called Two Different Ways, Sean. And yeah, we got to midnight, so of course we needed to activate a little bit of hips and shoulders. This music obviously is even more potent when you mix it together with other stuff. So here was the Chicago House Claps from the 808. They're gone already, but I love that. Actually, no, that was from the 909, I think. So if you're watching this, whenever you're watching this, not now, not live, by all means, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of the stream tonight, or in general, what you hope to get in the next time, what I missed, what I got wrong, what I got right. Always nice to hear as well sometimes, but the criticism is always good as well, obviously. And yeah, leave just if you haven't already, if you're here now or in the future, as contrary to my little text in the description of the video, even if we can visit the past, you can't be in the past necessarily. Oh, maybe you can if you like the video later. It is sort of a back and forth with the past, the present, and the future. And for a future of this, tip your DJ of the night. There's a link in the description of the video if you haven't, if you don't know already, where you can support the stream and make this happen on a weekly basis and allow me to do even more, because I have a lot of stuff lined up for the near future. I hope I can afford both in time and money to do it. Good night. 6408 from Germany. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it, Elliot. And now we're listening to the EP of a project I played them some time ago, I believe. This is Directions, which is Directions in Music. Bundy K. Brown, who worked for Tortoise, Duke Sharon, who I believe also worked with them a little bit, but who was part of Codeine, the drummer of Codeine, amongst all that stuff. And the third guy, I forget, but this is dedicated to Johnny Diani and Don Cherry. And this was released in 97, I would say. So this Soul Static Sound, which was a label run, I believe, by a guy who used to work at the Rough Trade shop in London, back when post-rock was like really big in the underground. And this is the original, but I discovered there's a reissue of this that came out a few years ago. Yeah, it's like post-rock, post-trip hop, post-jazz, post-dub, pre-Fortet, I would say. This was really the sort of music that was the incubator, the scene incubator of how Fortet came to be, I would say. And his band, Fridge. And this is still fairly cheap. The label was Soul Static Sound. If Sean hasn't found it yet. Directions, aka Directions in Music, Echoes. And here was the Factory Floor EP I played. Post everything indeed. peut-être un peu en retard, Claude. Chill show. I guess this is the time when the 90s rock scene, alternative rock, was discovering dub, or really starting to embrace dub. The Pan American record I played was the same time, same year. Thank you, Revenge, and thank you, Mauricio Borba from Brazil again. Both guys, thank you very much for leaving very nice tips in the coffee jar again. Much appreciated. And yeah, this is just a good record to get, I think. Both sides are quite good, quite different, but we only played one side this time. That record from the early 2000s, I believe. Funny enough, this is also a design that was really en vogue in the mid-late 90s. That has aged a little bit, but what can you do? Number 9. I'm glad. I hadn't listened to this in a long time and I wasn't sure which track was that I really liked, and I think it's the one from 2002. String Theory. There. Anedonia, mini album, EP, on the consumer research and development label. Yeah, 2002. Nice. Beautiful IDM from the heydays of IDM. Yeah, Quint, you know, that's my limit. You have to place limits somewhere. At least I do. I don't do CDs anymore. I still play some CDs at home and I have a bunch, but I don't pursue CDs anymore. String Theory, I believe, is a duo from the UK. I'm not really sure. Or maybe it's a single guy, I'm not sure. No, it's a duo, yeah. Josh Davison and Nathan Tucker. Maybe American, I don't know. But if I remember correctly, they got their break with a split EP on Scam for a series called the Smack EP series. I'm not totally sure. And then they did do some stuff by themselves like that. It's fairly nice. US, okay, yeah, thanks, Sean. sort of more IDM nerdy boards of Canada, you could say. Sort of, yeah, quite intimate. I guess this is when IDM was turning into click and cuts. I love these chords. I love myself some ominous chords like that. Not exclusively, Johan. Boards of Canada is straight up hip-hop, and at the core of it, Otaker also is, and as is this. I guess that electro and hip-hop are the ground, the basis of IDM. So this one has a sort of like more poppy groove at the center of it, but there's still some quite cool stuff happening every now and then rhythmically in this track. Yeah, IDM, I guess, spun out of electro hip-hop and focused on the drums, the beats and the pads. Cheers, Bobby. Yeah, this is pretty nice, huh? Yeah, because music doesn't need to be always, or doesn't need to be completely complex. There's a sort of balance in this track that I think is pretty nice. Yeah. Hello, Paul. How you doing? Yeah, that's what's going on. These records are cheap, but they only did like 500 copies of them back then. Maybe 300 only sometimes. So the good ones, when they're gone, they'll be gone. And there was a hype around that music back then, but then it went down because the culture moved on. Now some true IDM from Australia from back in the day. Full spectrum Australian digital music, and we're listening to a track by Tristram Carey from 1973. This is a very cool compilation of Australian avant-garde electronic music. And we're listening to this guy, who I have a bunch of records from, and they're always quite challenging, more conceptually than sonically, I would say. Oh, well, I don't like that color on the vinyl, but it sounded good. I don't remember if this is an extremely expensive record, but I think it's more than anything quite a rare record. Not necessarily extremely collected. For me, that was a big target when I got it, like some 15, maybe 20 years ago. I'm not really sure now. But yeah, this is true experimental music. 1973, as this is still when the frame is to be created and agreed upon. John, yeah, well, I had that problem a few times today, so I feel you. Okay, well, that's quite a big margin. And this is an Australian record, by the way. So I don't know how many copies you'll find in Europe or in the US. But that will probably impact the price quite a lot. Well, I have to be, because my date, my girlfriend is expensive. Nah. Yeah, exactly. Hello, Euler. How you doing? Nice to see you. A bit late indeed, but like still. You're here for the last half an hour or so. Let's have something fun now. Well, there's enough stuff on vinyl to turn our heads around for till we die, so let's not be greedy, Quint. Even if we want everything that we like on vinyl. I do. Hello Chris, how you doing? Come for the rock. Hello Rom. I'll be trying to comment to you before the end of the year. I have to forget about Trump a little bit and yeah. How you doing, my friend? Legend. Yeah, Skate Lad used to be my nickname and still is, apparently in Miami. Quick Space Super Sport. Originally the Face Healers, one of my favorite indie band from the early 90s. The Super Plus EP on Domino. This is from 98 maybe? It's more difficult to skate where I live right now in the forest, but I haven't lost it. Like if you give me a skate and we're in the city, no problem. People from the past, huh? And the present. Salut Miliani. An old friend from France as well. Comment ça va avec Potemkin? Je parlais de toi il y a pas longtemps. Wow, what a bill. I saw the Face Healers at their very last gig. They broke up after that gig. I mean, they got back together in the 2000 plus, but so this is what's interesting with this, apart from the fact that it's pretty fun track. You got this crowd rock aspect, plus the whole like Stereolab indie thing, with something a little more innocent, I would say. And I like the stubbornness of that track that just keeps on going. Andrew Lukov, thank you for leaving a tip in the coffee jar, and thank you Euler as well. Merci beaucoup les amis. It's a good night tonight. I appreciate it very much. Fais ça, Mignani, ouais. Ça ferait plaisir. Zizir. Yeah, playful motoric, indeed. Ah, peut-être un jour, mais là, elle fait son live, elle, non? Yeah, I'm not too concerned with the next track yet, because it's a long one. I wonder what Bobby thinks of this. I assume he likes it, or maybe it's me who wants him to like it, but I'm sure he's aware of it. Oh, there was only one. Okay. Wow, it used to be a fairly easy record to find. I guess tonight we broke some Discogs sales, huh? The Face Healers were the masters of making tunes with only one chord. Played by the bass. Now it's the guitar. I love it. I guess I guess you could, huh? Well, actually I'm writing about Discogs right now. Not complaining, huh? But by the way, Bobby has a new album coming out in the fall, so that will hopefully be some fun as well. What a joyful and strange combination of instruments here, huh? Ben, Claude, il vient d'être complètement sold out sur sur Discogs, donc encore à côté de la plaque, Claude. Oh, in this case, I change. I'm not happy with my speakers, to be clear. They do the job, but I have a plan. C'est ce qu'on dit, Claude, quand on n'a pas de choses agréables à dire, on se tait. Yeah, I guess this is the last hurrah of the early 90s indie sound that I grew up with. Even if this is sort of post-indie with this sort of like motoric crowd rock influence that wasn't necessarily there in the British indie of like 97, 93. I'm working on that, John, not yet. But I have two other turntables, one decent, one that is just like for fun, and I need to get there, yeah. It just never ends, this track. Yes, John. Most indeed. Tip your DJ of the night. Now you have already done your deed tonight, John. Bien sûr, Claude. It's not exactly a manche disc. No, I don't have a manche disc. I have a portable turntable. Some of them, of these 7 inches, are pretty cool. There's a few that are totally like, Well, so listen to them beforehand. Well, I'm still here for like 20 plus minutes, Steven, but if you have to go, it was a pleasure. I know you tend to leave a tip on the PayPal directly, which I appreciate, by the way, so I don't know if you did tonight, but nevertheless I appreciate you and you stopping by. We're gonna get a little back into vintage IDM from the 60s, 70s now. Yeah, manche disc is a French word for these 7-inch turntables where you would put the 7-inch inside of it, like push it inside, like a CD, you know, like a CD player in a car. Yeah, next track is The Bomb. Even if this is true, despite what Claude is saying here, but and I really like that artwork. It's simple, but yeah, typical indie stuff from the UK, from the 90s, even if this is a little bit late. T'aurais pu faire une blague là, avec la césure. This is a composer I played a couple of times his work prior, and I had been after that record on one of the best Dutch labels, in my opinion. But this one eluded me. It's not an expensive record, I think. Let me double check before I make an ass of myself. This is someone who was born in 1926, if I remember correctly. Yeah, indeed. And passed away 70 years later, 70 years young. Yeah, this is a dirt cheap record. The first side is a mixture of orchestral, electronics and vocals. This one is pure electronics. This is Turntable on the Composer's Voice label from the Netherlands, and we're listening to Clair Obscur. Hello Del Wax, how you doing? Nice to see you, even if this is not for you. You had to come for that moment, obviously. C'est deux fonctions différentes, Claude. Faut accepter. Oh, that's nice, Paul. That's something to look forward. This is a composition from, I mean, this was released in '86, but I believe this is like from the early '80s, earlier. I'm not totally sure. Well, maybe I just should read the back cover, which says 1981-82. Yeah, turntable is not as forgotten or obscure as Peter Skat from the Netherlands, but I wouldn't say that he is internationally celebrated yet. At least not as much as his discography deserves it. His first records were released in 1961. He had some tracks before that even, I believe, on compilations or collaborative releases, but this is the very last record he released on vinyl, 86. But he's a contemporary of Peter Skat, who I played a few times in the past few weeks. But this is fire. Hello Royce, how are you doing? Talk about sound design now. Huh? Go for it, Randy, huh? Maurizio. Who are you, Maurizio? Are you here already under another name in the chat? I know, yeah, now I see. Maurizio Borba. Yeah, yeah, I agree, Ed. That's I guess this could be considered like very adjacent to musique concrète, to the French. Like there are tracks by Bernard Parmigiani that are not that far away from that, but I guess the French have probably a more romantic take on this kind of music. There will be more of a sort of orchestral melodic quality to the music, but this is more abstract, obviously. But I think this is timeless. This could come out now and would be as fresh as back then in '82. Yeah. So yeah, so that's an expensive day tonight for you, John. Mais c'est pas mal déjà, Claude. See here? It's almost like you could hear sort of like treated Bulgarian voices, chorus. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I was just seeing a mail. Yeah, this is still the Thunder U, but now we just shifted to something else. Wow, that went fast. Good night, Elliot. We're gonna be here for another 10 minutes or so, so nice to see you and thank you for the support, Elliot. Tonight, yeah, I already have to thank a bunch of people like Euler, Andrew, Revenge, Maurizio, Elliot, 808, Max Headroom, X Prince Protégé, Ryan Smith, John Levinson, Manuel Gocho, Nick Pentazzi, Daniel, Sean, double, triple, thank you to Sean, David Midogi Scalidili, it's the Mary Poppins thing, right? Thomas Corcoran and Frank Gidget. And Jim McGee as well, who left a little monthly tip during the week. If you haven't already and if you liked it tonight, I want to support the stream. You can do it later, but now is good too. Oregon. Well, we're listening to John Handy with Ali Akbar Khan, Karuna Supreme on the MPS label. So John Handy on the saxophone, you'll hear him soon, with Ali Akbar Khan on sarod, and Zakir Hussain on tabla, and Yogish Sauta on tambura. I don't know why you got the... what is it? Is it the San Francisco Bridge, I guess? And now comes John Handy. Superb. Salut Anthony. Yeah, I would agree with that. Especially that track. So a lot of these records that Anthony's referring to can turn into a sort of like Indian muzak. But this one has some teeth to it. Oh, I did. It's possible, yeah. Toujours Claude. Yeah. Yeah, that was an interesting project. That was a fun project, Ed. Nice to see that. Yeah. Yeah, I know we insist a little bit, but I hope you find it worth it. So, yeah. Good one, Quinn. Soon I'm gonna be able to go eat something. You're gonna soon go back to whatever you have left in front of you for the day, for the evening, for the night, depending on when you're listening, watching this. Because most of you, I'm talking to you who are watching this live, but that's only a third of the people who are watching this every week. And then this is available forever until YouTube changes things or we all disappear, which should happen sometime. Nice, Claude. Claude got the Grand River album, Tuning the Wind. I played 3 months ago, I guess now. Good one. Well, we have still one little track to send you off with. You know, I prepare a bunch of records before the streams that I will use or not, especially these nights where I didn't get in brand new releases. Obviously, we started off strong with the Steve Davis project, unnamed, but that you had to keep your eyes on. And then I can just kind of randomly go through the shelves and like, oh yeah, this, for sure. Tant mieux. Cheers, John. Listening to Elmer Judd. Don't remember if it's Tron Song or Don't Lie. 2007. If you stick towards my lane, I can run on hate. If you care to contemplate, I prefer to love. Angel sun, all cheers, Thomas. Reminds me of the past. Look inside my looking glass. Look inside my looking glass. Lo-fi soul music. A cross between Prince and Captain Beefheart. What's not to like? Captain Beefheart and Prince. Some would be horrified, and this is just fun. Thank you everyone. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave a tip to your DJ of the night. Have a wonderful night, wonderful evening, wonderful day, whenever you're watching this. Definitely a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next week, hopefully. Hey Jason. And thank you, Lost Anonymous supporter. Merci. Thomas Godzilla. All right. Thank you, everyone. See you next week. Bye, 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 bye. Bye, bye.